Greetings programs, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. In this video, I want to deal with a particular problem that has been people have faced in Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. What a fantastic game. I really think it's a great game. It's almost like a fusion of sort of roguelite along with action RPG, and it continues the Heroes of Hammerwatch franchise. Wonderful, wonderful game. I really recommend it. But you're probably trying to enjoy it. Early on, there's an issue with falling boulders, especially in this particular dungeon. It's literally the first dungeon you come across, and that is the Dark Caves. And so really, early on, levels 1 to 4, something like that, of your character, very weak. And these falling boulders kill you outright. I tried it on my wizard. I found it very frustrating, so I went looking for an answer. And I hope to help you in this very short video now. Let's get into it. So here we are, and I've got some guys just following me around here. And in this particular area, I've cleared out some of the mobs already. But what I've actually gone and done is I've set off some of these traps that are in the room, and boulders have fallen on my head while I've been fighting these monsters. Now, that didn't kill me because I'm level 6 and I've got some armor and that kind of stuff, so it isn't a problem. But what you'll find is that if your character's quite, early levels, you get into this dungeon, you think, great, I'm making some good progress, and you're fighting mobs, suddenly boulders fall on your head. It's a problem. A lot of people have kind of indicated that was the reason why they refunded. I certainly found it irritating, went looking for an answer, and this is the answer that I found. So you can see here, right near my cursor here, there we go, there's little sort of offset shield type shape on the ground there. It's a stone that you can walk on. And so if you come into this dungeon, just look out for these little shield shaped icons. Now, some of you might say, well, they're too dark, I can't really see them. So what I would recommend, if you go into the options and into the graphics specifically, you can actually scroll down, and there's a way to sort of brighten up the screen with brightness, gamma, and contrast. A good idea is to make the screen as bright as you can, especially if you're playing on maybe on a smaller screen or whatever, so that you can see these little sort of offset shield shaped icons or stepping stones and pressure sensitive traps. Now the good news is once you've stepped on it once, the boulders have fallen. That's done for. You don't have to worry about that. And I would almost say if you're going to actually fight mobs, a good thing to do is to maybe try and set off as many of these in a controlled fashion as possible before actually taking on mobs. Because if you're like me and you're sort of kiting around, you actually find that you step on them by mistake. That can be the end of your run. And so you can see how many of them are. There's one there. There's another one there. And they're dotted around quite a lot. And it can feel like if you don't know where they are, and certainly when I was starting out, it felt like they were just randomly, hitting, just especially when you were fighting something else, and that's a real irritation. You can see there's some mobs here, so what I wouldn't want to do is step on this while I'm, say, backtracking, trying to get away from these mobs here. So what I would do is I would set it off by moving through it. There we go, and you can hear that there's an auditory cue before the boulders actually fall on your head. You can almost hear them sort of rumbling just for half a second, maybe less. And that just gives you a clue. Also, there's a shadow on the ground as you're moving as well. And so that's something to look out for. If we just have a look again, let's just see if we can set this one off. There it is. And so listen out for that auditory cue. And you can see also the shadow on the ground. So, you can sort of, dodge through it or whatever, or just keep moving if you're actually moving already. Tendency is that's a problem. So I'd say one way of solving it is be aware, look out for them, also set them off, because once you've set them off, you can freely walk over them. Next thing is to, consider it in options under graphics, look for those, changing the brightness, contrast, and gamma to help you with that. Listen out for the auditory cues. Also, I would say a good thing to do is to, try to increase your armor as well on your character as much as possible. That will mitigate the damage if it does fall on your head. The more life you get, that will also mean that these are less of a problem. Using my guy's level 7 actually, and so it's much less of a problem these days. Got quite good armor as well. He's a paladin. On your weaker characters like wizard, etc., it becomes a real problem. So look out for that. I really hope it helps someone. If it doesn't help you because you already knew about it, thanks very much for watching. Sorry, hopefully there'll be a future tip that I can tell you about. If you saw this tip already in someone else's tips video, great, you know about it already. But I just hope that, even if one person benefits from this and just persists with the game and doesn't say refund it based solely on that irritation, because it can be very irritating, especially at the start of the game. Feels almost unfair, that these boulders can literally one shot you out of the game when you've been, working on a run, maybe a run for half an hour, something like that. You're working through your way, getting to this cavern, and then boom, you're dead in a shot while you're trying to take on these, stronger mobs, and make progress. So hopefully it helps you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.